Scholar, the original shield healer. While everybody else is going to be playing with the shiny new Sage, you instead are going to be a dedicated Scholar because you're educated and you have a book. But first, I have a disclaimer. I was sponsored by Square Enix to try out this development build of Endwalker, and everything that you see here is subject to significant changes. That includes potencies especially, since a lot of them change throughout all of the jobs. I would not worry about them. But anyway, let's take a look. Firstly, the DPS spells. You've got a new single target spam, it's called Broil 4. You still have Energy Drain, that'll use up your Aetherflow stacks, which is very important, and your dot is still Biolysis. Then there's a new AoE spell called Art of War 2. This is an instant cast spammable AoE. Scholar's GCD shields were super buffed. Adlo will now be a 180% shield and Sucker is a 160% shield. Scholar is gonna still be the big with 2Gs shield healer. And not only that, Deployment Tactics, the one that spreads your Adlo shield to everybody, is on a 90-second cooldown now. You're gonna be able to utilize this for way more mechanics over the duration of a fight, so it's super good. Then there's a new instant heal called Protraction. It increases the maximum HP of a target by 10% and restores that amount. It also increases the healing actions on that target by 10%, and you can do this every minute. It's going to be so good for tank busters. And then there's the brand new toy that everybody's talking about, Expedient. This will give everybody sprint and a 10% damage mitigation for 20 seconds. I know it's been a meme, but in all seriousness, this is a super unique ability, and there will likely be strats around utilizing this for movement. I mean, just look at Lucio. Everybody loves Lucio. A lot of the mechanics in our game is centered around movement, so if you have an ability that augments your movement, that automatically makes it powerful. Fey Blessing no longer costs Fairy Gauge, which means the only thing that your Fairy Gauge is going to be used for is Fey Union, otherwise known as Sage Mode, which actually brings up one of the differences between Scholar and Sage. The Fairy can heal either everybody, or it could switch over to a single targeted healing burst. Sage, on the other hand, can only do the single targeted healing with their Cardia. The Fairy is very powerful, and it's part of what makes Scholar a Scholar. And not to mention, the Fairy seemed much more responsive. I tested this out by alternating using the Fairy GCDs and seeing if it would immediately do it, and it seemed like it was. So time will tell on that, but we'll see what it feels like on live servers. And that will do it for Scholar. I'm really wondering what the healer meta is going to end up looking like for Endwalker, but let's not forget one important thing. People like doing damage, and Scholar increases the party's damage. What about that, huh? Thank you so much for watching, and all of my videos on the Endwalker job changes are out now, so check out the playlist in the link in the description below to watch the next one. Okay, bye.